What's going on, guys? It is late on a Saturday evening and I am just chilling. And I was thinking that a few days ago I got tagged in to do a tag video on the subject of slasher movies. And I actually had a lot of fun doing that. I thought it was a really cool idea. It's something I actually haven't encountered before. So I just decided to come up with my own tag video and my own tag idea and share it with people. And I'm going to tag in some people too. So, my tag is about sci-fi horror films. So, this is a sci-fi horror tag. And I've got some questions here that I wrote up. And I'm going to give the questions. I'm going to give my answers for them. And then I'm going to tag in some other people. Now, just one thing I do want to say about this tag is there are certain movies that I personally don't consider horror movies that are science fiction that a lot of people do. So if you think it's a sci-fi horror movie, put it on your list. Put it in your answers. Answer it however you want. I want to hear your answers. I want to know what you guys think. So that being said, we're going to jump right in. Question number 1. What is your favorite science fiction horror movie, monster or killer? And for this question, I'm going to go with the monsters from the movie Deep Star 6. It's an underwater based film, and the monster, which is largely unseen through a lot of it, is I'm not sure what the technical term for it is, but it could be a giant sea scorpion that supposedly went extinct years ago. But I really always liked it. I liked the way they did it. I liked the look of it when they showed it. And even though the movie gets bad reviews, I've always liked it. So, question number 2. What is your favorite science fiction horror movie? Mine is actually a Korean movie called Sector 7. Just like Deep Star 6, this movie takes place on the water. It takes place on an oil rig run by a Korean oil rig crew. If you haven't seen this movie, check it out. It's definitely worth your time. It was on Netflix last time I checked. I'm not sure if it still is or not. It is a badass film. Number 3, what is the worst science fiction horror movie of all time? I'm going to go with Halloween 3. A lot of people say, oh, that's not a space movie. Science fiction horror does not have to be in space. Examples, 28 weeks later, 28 days later, those are science fiction horrors. The Resident Evils are science fiction horrors. Anything that involves mad scientists, any kind of sci-fi elements, and horror is a science fiction horror. My answer, I'm going with Halloween 3. I can't stand that movie. I try to like it. I hate it. I just absolutely hate that film. Question number 4. What is your favorite death in a science fiction horror? For this, I'm going to a science fiction horror slasher movie. Jason X, my favorite kill, my favorite death is the liquid hydrogen or liquid nitrogen kill when he dunks the assistant's head into the liquid hydrogen. It freezes, and then he smashes her face on the table. I absolutely love it. Question number 5 is your favorite science fiction horror movie, weapon or tool? And for this, I'm going with something that's a little bit out of the box. I think it is anyways. I'm going with the cabin from the Cabin in the Woods movies. The Cabin in the Woods movie was not what people thought it was at first. Everybody thought it started out as kind of an Evil Dead type of movie, but that's not what it was at all. It was actually a cabin that a group of scientists were using that had, and it could change. It could be anything. It had aliens. It had monsters. It had demons. It had witchcraft. It had everything. And they could program the cabin, which was actually a facility, to do whatever they wanted. So that's my answer for that question. I'm going with the cabin from A Cabin in the Woods. Question number 6. Favorite non-science fiction horror franchise that has a science fiction horror entry? For this question, I am going to go to one of my favorite horror franchises of all time. It may not be a lot of people's favorite, but it is one of mine. and it is the Leprechauns franchise with Leprechaun 4, Leprechaun in Space. I know that movie is goofy as hell, but I actually like the movie. It's funny. I love when he pulls out the little lightsaber and he cuts the guy with it. So yeah, non-science fiction horror franchise that has a science fiction horror entry. I'm going with the Leprechaun franchise. Question number 7. What is your favorite science fiction horror franchise? My answer here may not surprise anybody, and it may be, people might call it a lazy answer, but I'm going with the Alien franchise. I absolutely love it. I love every Alien movie out there, with the possible exception of this newest one, Alien Covenant. Wasn't really that good. I think Alien versus Predator was even better. So what's that tell you? But yeah, I'm going to definitely go with the Alien franchise for this question. And the last question is question number 8. What horror character in all of horror would you like to see shot into space? And I'm going to go with Glenn/Glenda from Seed of Chucky. I hate that character. I wish Don Mancini never would have pulled it out of his brain. And I just would love to see that character shot into space, never to return, and to be frozen in space like a popsicle. That is it, guys. That is my science fiction horror tag. I'm going to tag in 3 people. I'm going to tag in Adam from Almost Sideways. I'm going to tag in Play It Now. And I am going to tag in TheHORRORman. So give their videos a check out if they make them. Guys, if you can't get around to making them or you just don't feel like making them, it's not a problem. I just thought this would be a fun idea to do. And if you like it, do it. If you don't like it, you don't want to do it, don't do it. That's cool. I will see you all on the flip side.